Okay, so what we've got here, it is Saturday lunchtime, just after lunchtime, in Cambridge, in the southeast of the UK. I'm going to try something different today. So it's not technically a race, but it does say sometimes it can turn into a race. So a lot of fun here. So it is the BMTR Fundo group ride, effectively, but it's split into 4 categories, and the categories are not on your classification, your the usual ZRS score. They're categorised for the distance travelled. So category A is 100 miles. The race is 100 miles. Now, people in category A are designated slightly different tops. And it goes from 100 to 60 down to 20 to 44, and the group I'm in, and it sounds terrible now after talking about category A being 100 miles, I'm doing 26 miles. I think there's roughly 1,000 feet of climb, but yeah, it's a bit of a group ride, some fun. You can see on the right hand side, so it's giving my position within the category D, which again, so there are, I've checked this, there are a couple of A riders doing the 26 miles, but they will be wearing the same jerseys as myself, but just doing 26 miles. But I think they got ZRS of 700, so I think a couple are here in the mix. You can see with the same jerseys, one sort of cowboy hat. You got the Dane and the Japanese rider. You got quite a few in this front bunch. You can see on the top graphic, category D denoted with the yellow dots, and it's pretty stretched and pulled out now. So I don't usually do, I'm suspecting this will go just over an hour if I'm doing about 3.4, 3.5 watts a kilo. I don't usually do such a distance. You can see there's one front group now that's got a multitude of categories in, but bearing in mind some of these with the black jerseys and the red stripe will be doing 100 miles if they are category A, and this is the difference in class. So I'm here to enjoy it. I'd like to come in the front 5 to 10 out of 30 in the Cat D, because it's a bit of an exercise session for me on Saturday, lower than usual pace, but yeah, a bit of fun. I think we've got the Titan Grove climb later on. You can see the graphic, so what, 25%, there's the climb to start off, there's a couple of bumps, it's pretty flat until about 70-80% in, then you've got the final climb. It's the undulating, punchy climbs of Titan Grove. I do enjoy that. It's the up and down kind of roller coaster. But I'm going to try and stay with this group as much as possible, depending on how much they're hurting me. Because, again, I don't usually do distances on to 26 miles. Sounds pathetic in the scheme of things, knowing that some of these front riders will be doing 100 miles and they're pushing the pace, which is a bit embarrassing for me, but that's not the point. They're far better riders. I just want to try and stay in the mix. And if I can get a pull for the first quarter, first third, set me off at some pace, that'll be a good finishing position. You can see on the graphic now, that shows it nicely. There is a front peloton with yellow, green and blue riders in. I'm trying to see if there's any red riders. There's one right at the back, a couple right at the back, unless they're just being swamped because of the graphic. But you wouldn't expect this pace if you're doing 100 miles today at this pace. That'd be outrageous. But perhaps there's cyclists with that ability in this pack. Anyway, for now, so I'm just going to practice drafting, enjoy it. There's obviously the BMTR group quite a few people that do this regularly, because you can see with the conversation. But yeah, this is something really different and something enjoyable. I'm not just doing a workout on my own. I'm getting a workout done. The fitness is there, but it's a bit more enjoyable. To be honest, I just like reading the comments. I'm not part of the comments. But yeah, I just want to stay in the mix with better riders. Surely that's the aim of to get better. I don't know why I'm laughing there. Do about 248 average, top left in 15th. There's a clear bunch here, so some nice drafting. Comments are just, you can just see where we are now. Probably 2.4 miles in. We're almost 10% complete. 125 feet completed. As I said, I think probably do about 1,000 feet by the end of this. But this 26 miles and doing it for an hour is going to be a really good session for me. It'll set me up for one of the tour races midweek next week. Someone's gone off the front there. So you can see there's 6 or 7 D riders that are within this group. I'm looking at the graphic on the right, and then there's a drop. Rest of the D group must be, it's like 17 seconds, 31 seconds behind, so they must be in the group behind. If I can stay with this group though, it depends. You've got that big climb coming up. I suspect perhaps 200 feet to climb, and I've no idea what pace they're going to go. And again, that's the fun thing. This is all a bit of an unknown for me, and I'm happy for that. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm not pushed for time like I am midweek, either doing it before work or after work. Everything's a little bit of a rush, and you sometimes can't enjoy it. So I just jumped on my bike, had a nice filter coffee, big fat cafetiere of strong filter coffee. Happy days. 3.1 miles in. Pretty. This is a nice cruiser pace for me, I've got to say, especially in the middle of this bunch. It's great. But I suspect stronger riders are going to push it on this climb. Now what I don't want to do is get to this climb and have to do full beams and then carry on for another 16, 17 miles at that pace, because they'll just drop me. It's as simple as that. So I did have a look, did a bit of research on to see who else was doing the D category, the 26 miles, and it's a mix of, there's a few A riders, some strong category B, some mid B, some C, and some ZRS D and E riders. So it's a complete mix. 8 riders doing the 26 miles in this front group though. And you can see from the top graphic, look, you can see the red dots now appearing. Someone's gone off on the front, clearly an A rider. Doing the 100 miles though, if that makes sense. There's quite a few power-ups on here. I've got the feather, which, let's see if I need that. So the pace has quickened up a bit. You can see top left, I'm at 300 as we're approaching this first climb. That doesn't bode well, especially those 2 riders gone off the front. So it looks like I'm going to be overstretched, and we're only going to be 20% into the race. So let's try and stay with this group, but not absolutely kill myself trying to get over this peak. Maybe we keep this bump under 7. I mean, if they're talking about 7 watts a kilo on this climb, that's me finished. I'll be wanting to do about 5.5, possibly 6 if I need to keep up. Let's see, I'm pushing 300 watts here, so there's nothing unusual about that. So many friends, so much time. Keep steady. I'm having to push over 420 watts on the orange bit to stay in this front group. You can see that. So this pace has picked up considerably. Look, I need to not let them pass me here. Need to stay in contention. You see the group getting away. I've had to use the feather. So these are strong riders. I mean, if they're doing 60 or 100 miles after this, blimey. Big respects. I'm just trying to hang in. You can see that's me at my limit on the climb. If I'm doing 375 watts ish, 5.5 watts a kilo, sorry, 5 watts, just under 5 watts a kilo, sat down, I can't sustain that for very long. That's what I call my 510 to 650 ZRS category climbing. That's the level I need to do to stay in the bunch. So I'm struggling here, but sticking with it. I mean, there's the thought of having to do another 21 miles after I've got over here. You know, I'm not going to be able to do that at this pace. So that's a clear indicator. Of the pace here. Obviously a lot of the group know each other, and fair play, they're enjoying the ride, they're working together, having fun, which is, you know, you've got to recommend things like this. And although I'm not in the comments, I mean, that's another thing. What, it's as if I have time to jump on my mobile to do comments. Because look, I'm stood up, trying my best to concentrate, doing 440 watts, 5.7 watts a kilo. I can't be typing messages going up this hill. I'm going to go over almost with the group. Let's see, they're really stretching it now. I'm about midway in that pack. Actually, it looks like they're going to drop a few of the red riders. And I'm right at the back of this first bunch here. Oh, they're stretching it as well, blimey. Yeah, they're never going to be able to keep this up. Oh, they've just relented a bit there. Just put the brakes on a bit. Well, this second bunch have. You can see there's a... It's really opened up there. I'm having to use the aero boost up and down on these just to stay in. Not going to be able to do this for another 20 miles, I'll tell you that. It's clearly two groups now. Well, there's three groups if you look at the top graphic. Oh, good, everyone else is using the aero boost. It's not just me. Oh, people are sprinting and it's on the way down. I'm doing 280 watts on the downhill just to stay in this third group. Or it's the second group, sorry, if you look at the graphic. Different class of rider. I mean, I've enjoyed going up that slope with them, but, you know, far better than me. So you've got some of the D riders there. I think there's... You can see me positioned second, and if you look, there's Kazuki 2 seconds ahead, so just up the road. Oh, they're all coming together now, so they have put the brakes on. Okay, so that's helped, so I'll be able to get a nice draft. So I'm back in the pack, but what an explosive, just a different ability. You know, they exploded there. Now they're just having a break. Just getting the mid-pack to draft. That's not too bad. You can see all the red dots now on that top graphic. But as I'll repeat myself, 19 miles to go for me. The Red Riders will have 94 miles to go. Just let that sink in. And people are typing. Yeah, different level to me. But I'm enjoying it. Saturday afternoon, trying my best. Working in a group with better riders. I mean, yeah, what else do you need? I can't follow all the comments on the top. See, I'm doing 300 here again, so they've picked up. It's created a bit of a train. I'm in the middle here. Had to do 351 there just to bring myself back into contention. Averaging 260, which is about 3.5 watts per kilo, 3.6 for myself. 18.7 miles to go. Watts of the Wild is the name of the FUNDO group race ride. You can see, so we've still got the Dane, who is part of my race, and Kazuki, and then we've got a big distance to M. Suter, the Swiss rider. But looking at Suter's ZRS, I think it's 600 or 700. So that rider's well within themselves. Richard's the Brit behind, 37 seconds, 634 ZRS. My record's on, I think 576 I've been to. It's dropped recently. So I've just been demolished in the 510 650 category. And I've been slowly dropping ZRS points. Having to use the aero again. Look, 364 watts I'm using on this 3%. Everyone's using their power-ups, to be fair. But 18 miles to go. If it was 8 miles to go, I'd try and stick with this group. So this group, if I can stay with them, I've got a good chance of finishing the top 5 to 10 of my group on the 26 mile course. But this is going to be the struggle, you see. So you can see on the right hand side, I'm third in the D-Cat. I'm just going to let them pull away. I can't keep chasing them with 18 miles to go. It's too much for me, that. The Suter behind, 33 seconds, putting in 4 watts a kilo. 4.4 watts a kilo there. Then you've got 3 riders, roughly 38-40 seconds behind that, and then the rest are 1.5 minutes back. So what I wanted to do is try and keep my distance. I'm not saying get a third place, because I know the quality of Sakamoto as well, 39 seconds behind. The Japanese rider, I think that rider is 600-700 ZRS as well. So the 2 riders behind me, roughly 30 and 40 seconds behind, you can see Sakamoto doing 4.8 watts a kilo. It's gone down a bit now, but let's fast forward this. Just look, keep an eye on the right. You can see Suter catching me up. And you'll see gets right in the pack. So with 3 riders here doing the 100 miles. So I want to try and draft with them. Suter came through there. If you just watch, I tried to stay in the draft as long as possible. But Suter's off the front there doing up 4.5 watts a kilo, between 4.5. So obviously I can't keep that up. bearing in mind there's 14 miles to go. And then you've got 3 riders, Sakamoto, Richards and Turpin, 51 seconds behind. So I want to try and keep my distance. If I can keep with these riders here drafting, I'm at 300 watts here, and I'm just getting dropped. Averaging 253, so I'm not, and we've done 12 miles, 12.2 miles, almost halfway. Got a big flat section in a minute, and then you've got the final 2 bumps and a climb, I'd say, and you go through Titles Grove, which is enjoyable. It's fast and furious. So right, I've got Suited, he's doing 4.8 watts a kilo, not going to be able to chase the Swiss rider down. 3 riders behind though, let's try and get a 4th place finish. Just looking at the times, the watts a kilo. Got 3 riders behind, 50 odd seconds, but if you look at Tomasevsky, the pole, 1 minute 35 behind. Again, that rider's pushing 4 to 4.5 watts a kilo. So just watch, because I think that rider will catch the 3 in front and then start a chase with myself. I've got 54 seconds, just under a minute with the 3, so I'm not going to let them catch me, but I'm just going to conserve a bit of energy on the flats, but keep putting it in, just concentrating. And then I've got some in reserve, done 440 feet, 430 feet, 12.7 miles, got some in reserve for this climb. Now what I can't tell is there somebody behind me that I can latch onto and draft? So if I can just get a bit of draft leading up to this climb, or I can latch onto a group. I can't see anyone in front of me, but someone might. You can see the group behind are 40 seconds. Tomasevsky, the pole, you can see 24 seconds. Absolutely ripping it to chase. There you can see on the graphic. Right, so Silver on the TT bike, I'm going to try and draft 2 or 3 miles to get me into a position where I can climb. The pole behind, again, was doing 4 watts a kilo, so I'm not particularly bothered about the 3 behind him. But Tomasevsky, 10 seconds behind. I'm getting a good draft here, so he's not going to catch me straight away, but that rider is much stronger than myself, ZRS wise. You see the watts per kilo, 4.1, 4.6, 4.3, 8 seconds behind, so he's going to close that gap. And if you're doing that level, he's going to come past. What I'm concerned about is, there's 3 riders working together. You've got the American, the Brit Richards and the Japanese rider Sakamoto, all 44 to 46 seconds behind. So I'm going to aim to go up and over, hopefully be more than 30 seconds ahead of them on the descent, and then I can just push it to the finish and have a respectable 5th place finish. As you can see, so it's not a ZRS race as such, but tactically you can still really enjoy yourself. 8.1 miles to go. As I said, it's more it's another 10 miles than I usually do on a typical ride, so I can't be racing with the same dynamic, the same tactics as a 15-mile race, obviously. 685 calories done. Now that typically would be me done on a weekly race. Because I've done 18 miles now, I'd be done and dusted. But there's still 8 miles to go, and I need to just concentrate. Tomaszewski, within 2 seconds, you can see he's coming with a group as well. That's good, because I can latch onto the group, which should help me maintain my distance between the 3 other D riders, all 49 seconds behind. Thank you very much to this rider in front, the Brazilian rider, for letting me draft. Not sure that jersey, if it's the B or the A, but they're on a TT bike. Clearly just keeping up the watts. R Silver. Respect. I'd love to help you, but I'm a far inferior rider. Right, here you see the pole gone past, still doing 4.6 watts. What I want to try and do is hold on to these 2-3 riders here as we go up the climb. That'll keep me in touching distance of the pole as well. But clearly a very strong rider, just out on the front, no care in the world. I'm going to have to draft off these 3. So here we go, the first of the components to this climb. I'm just going to stick with them, hope they don't do 6 watts a kilo up this climb. The good thing, yeah, it's keeping the pole within sight as well. It's still doing 4.6 watts a kilo on the front. 7 miles to go. So we've got a little bump here, and then as you can see it'll be an up and down, bit of a descent, and then we've got that big climb. I'm using the aero boost. I think there's one final power up at the top, going over the top. So 1 minute, so the good thing, it's working. Silver, I think, it's in the coffee break. It's working because I've got a minute now between the 3 riders behind, because I've been keeping the pace up with this group and drafting and working with, and Tomaszewski hasn't escaped. So I'm going to put it in here because I want to try and go over the top of that main peak with this group, and that will keep the distance with the group behind. Otherwise 3 of those riders working against me, with 6.8 miles to go. I don't know whether I could hold them off. Happy with this. And I'm confident because I know these up and down sections I can, if I just stand up on the climbs, get a little breather. Left, right, up, down, fantastic. Really enjoyable. Still got something in the legs because I had the bit of a breather on that flat. 1 minute and 2 seconds now, 4 seconds between that other group. And I'm doing a bit of the climb as well. So I think they've had a bit of a breather before the climb, which is helping me. I've actually come through to the front. So just stick with it, play the tactics. 6.3 miles to go, just done over 600 feet. 48 minutes gone. And that's good. I've done the first part. Just a few up and down, so I just need to concentrate here. Now 1 minute 13 seconds between myself and the group behind. So the tactic is stay with these riders, draft, keep pace with them. And if I burn all my match, it doesn't matter because we're near the end. That's the difference. I couldn't have done that though with 18 miles to go. Someone said pizza. Really? You start getting hungry after an hour's ride. Only had a banana. Need food. It's coming round nicely. Silver's still in the mix there. I'm not sure why it only says the pole has only done 11.8 miles. Not sure why it says that, because I'm absolutely certain he started with with everybody else. Whipping left and right here. 3% here. Bit of flat-ish. It's not flat, it's just annoying. And then we'll come round the corner in a minute and then we'll start this final climb. That dinosaur. Good old Zwift. One minute 26 ahead now. So these tactics are perfect. If I stick with this group over the top of the main climb, I reckon there'll be perhaps 4.5 miles to go and I can hold on, even if I get dropped by this group. And if I can finish 5th out of the 35, I'll be happy with that. I'll have trained, done probably about 1,000 calories. It's looking like I've done over 786. There's 5 miles to go. So I'll have done an hour's ride, roughly. Let's say we end on about 240. So about 3.4 watts a kilo for an hour. 1,000 calories. Enjoyed it. Perfect. I'll just stick in here, hang in. You can see on the top, Kazuki, the Japanese rider, is 3.5 minutes ahead, currently winning the D category race. Then you've got the Dane, who's obviously been dropped, is in the group behind, and then Suter behind that. So Kazuki, I think, is a high category B or A rider. And see he's doing 5.3 watts a kilo. 3 minutes ahead, I suspect. Probably gone over the top by now, perhaps not, perhaps just on the final part of this climb. They're getting away from me here. That's not too much of an issue. I've used the draft and I've used them enough. 4.6 miles to go. I can't let this go though. I'm 1 minute 25 seconds ahead of that group of 3 behind. So I'm just concentrating, look, keeping 290 watts. I've dropped to 13th. Yeah, I just need to concentrate here. I can't be messing about, or they might outclimb me. Should have stayed with that group, not going over the top, to make absolute certain. Tomasevsky 6 seconds ahead. So I'm either going to finish 5th here or 9th. You can see the peak there, top graphic, 4.4 miles. Just under to go. Done 21.6 miles. Approaching climbing 800 feet and 53 minutes elapsed. So this isn't over and done. You can see the time coming down with the group behind. It's now 1 minute 15. They've just knocked 10 seconds off there. That's because I'm not in that group ahead. and it's really coming down now, so a bit of pressure on me now, although I am almost over this climb. They're climbing at a faster rate than I am. Taping was putting 5 watts a kilo there. I need to be really careful because it's approaching a minute now. They've knocked 25 seconds off. I'm just standing up here I need to distance myself. We're not quite at the peak yet. 55 seconds, they're really chasing me here. 54, 53, 52, blimey. So tactically naive there, I should have stayed with that group ahead. 49 seconds. Right, I think I've just gone over the peak. I can take a bit of a breather and extend the distance. Let's move it forward, look, you can see as I'm flying down, I've put a bit more of a gap. It's roughly 54 seconds, 51, 50. They're on the descent now, 45 seconds. There's only 1 mile to go, so I can ease off. And pretty much, there you go. I would definitely recommend the BMTR FUNDO race. Get your calories in, a lot of strategy, concentrate. So I finished 24, 25 seconds ahead of that. 5th, happy with that, and got a really good workout in there. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. As always, see you soon.